DreamHack Open is brought to you by Astro, Monster Energy, Corsair, Hacks, and GGBet.
Well, little did you know, here in DreamHack Valencia, a little team named the Fragsters were going to find their way to the semifinals. But on top of that, I should probably tell you a few more pertinent details. The first modern novel is Spanish. Also, around 406 million people in the world speak Spanish. But did you know, Blair, that the highest Spanish mountain is not, in fact, in Spain? But none of that matters today because we're all the way at the top. But we're only halfway up here at the DreamHack Open Valencia. My name is Trace Saranthus. I am the desk host here and have been all weekend. If you're just tuning in for the first time, we do have 2 semifinals followed by 1 grand final today, all of which are best of 3. And we do have some great Counter-Strike coming your way. I'm going to go ahead and introduce my panel over here to my left. I do have Bleh and Chad Burchill.
Yes,
where is
indeed.
So where is the mountain?
That is something you're going to have to look up on your own.
Alrighty.
We're on a strict schedule here, and with that strict schedule, it's also important that I remind you who makes all of this possible. It's going to be Astro, it's going to be Corsair, it's going to be Monster, and of course, it's going to be Hacks GG. Our friends at Hacks really looking out for us. What do you got, Chad?
Yeah, look, they have some hoodies and shirts and hats and stuff. So if you ever need some clothes, you need a shirt on your back, Trace, maybe just give them a call. I'm sure they can hook you up.
Thank you. I tried.
You're looking good. I'm just saying, if you're ever in need.
Yeah, man. Appreciate the help there. But we've had an entire couple of days of Counter-Strike. I almost said an entire week, but we've actually had 3 days.
It feels like a week, doesn't it?
Yeah, yesterday did kind of feel like a week, especially towards the end of that last matchup. But, you know, G2 Luminosity proved to be quite the matchup itself.
It was kind of a little messy though, right? If you look at the rest of the other games we saw, like when Heroic played Fragsters North, it was kind of like the bond when we were kind of expecting a little bit of some crazy stuff happening all around the place. I almost dropped a bomb there.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Well,
it was pretty much
is
the game though.
Counter-Strike.
It is Counter-Strike after all, but I think today's going to be a much more interesting day. We have 3 Danish teams, there's 12 Danes in the semifinals. What is with Danish Counter-Strike?
That's almost 1 Dane too many. However, enough of us talking about it. Let's just take a look at a recap from yesterday and see how the action unfolded.
Mixwell double down. Oh my goodness, he's fully blind, but he's still putting up numbers. Mixwell's absolutely incredible. Oh my goodness. Look at him go, the ace for Mixwell. Down in the pit, that's MSL, has to deal with AZ. Snatch, she taps down some more, and it's Kirby left in a 1v1. Snatch, she rounds the corner, and he's gonna get it done. 4 kills. Y'all is gonna hold this back. Timing just allows the MP7 to do more work. And the USP, absolutely fantastic from Neo.
Bomb's been offered over, but Body has had enough. He comes in with 2 quick kills and another from Body. He is single-handedly looking to close map 1.
Shots from Body holding your positions, but Nekis is doing his best. That's a triple.
What a turbulent time for some of these teams, mainly VP, who really probably didn't feel the results that they wanted to. But today it's about the playoffs.
Yeah, and if you're looking at these brackets, you're thinking maybe the Fragsters did a bit of a mission impossible. They're getting all the way through to the semis by beating 2 teams who, look, it wasn't the toughest of opponents by any means. A VP, a 16-1 victory there, and then going up against the Luminosity, who had an upset earlier in the group as well. But then they've still made it through to the playoffs. So it's a weird bracket to get here. I didn't think when we started this tournament that we would be seeing the likes of Fragsters and Luminosity, both of which in the semifinals.
And let's look at the teams that dropped out, right? We got Ago, We got G2.
Yeah, big names.
G2, big name, and VP, big name, but
Small results.
small results.
Small
Yeah,
results.
that would be a nice way to put it
Yeah.
across.
G2 definitely a team that we kind of talked about as being a favorite to win this entire thing right here, but that's just not how it unfolded.
Look at the bright side though. Shoxy seems
sides?
to Shoxy.
Okay, cool. I was just going to say they tilted off the face of the earth, but
Kenny's did. He had a very rough day yesterday. I kind of felt bad for him. But here's the thing with G2, right? You can't not win a game because Kenny has had an off day.
Sure, but
You
this is
cannot afford
the I guess sum of all those parts is there is so much pressure on the two stars of that team to get it done, and it wasn't to be in that case, and that is why we have Luminosity through to play Heroic in that other match. But this Fragsters versus North game, I'm thinking this one, it actually has the potential to be a good domestic rivalry in some regard because there's so many teams nipping at the heels of North and Australis in that Danish scene at the moment.
Well, you talk about North of Fragsters. That's actually the first semifinal we have today. And what would a semifinal be without the appropriate maps to play on? We don't know exactly where it's going to fall, but we're going to find out here real soon as the vetoes do fly in. Bleh, I feel like you've kind of gotten something up your sleeve for this one.
Yeah, I would like to see Fragsters, if they want to win this, they need to go for some ballsy plays. They need to start with a ballsy map veto, right? But are they just going to be sticking with their default bans? Like they're going to be banning on Overpass. It's a ban map they never play on. North, they permabans a cache, for example, right? So if they do that, they get to play on Train. Sorry, if North doesn't really go for the Train ban, that's the thing. I don't think North's going to be feeling very comfortable in Train. It's a map Fragsters have been phenomenal on. Yes, North did manage to beat Ago in Train, right? But, you know, it depends on how the first bans are going to work out here. Are we going to be seeing... I don't think we're going to be seeing Overpass and Cache, but everything is up.
I think it'll just be a boring veto. I think it's going to be like Train and Inferno, and then the third at that point.
I think I might actually see Train Mirage. Yeah, it's going to be a boring veto. Train Mirage and Dust 2. Calling it.
Calling it right now. You're putting all your money where that is.
Not everything, but like 70%.
Maybe just
70%. So he's saving 30% for the rainy day.
as long as you don't go 50.
That makes no sense.
No, it does make a lot of sense because I don't think that North will have practiced Nuke at all with Mixwell. And we know it's a heavily strategical map. Now, if they want to play it loose, that's not necessarily how North have ever been good on a map like Nuke. They've needed to actually use, I suppose, the finesse of MSL's in-game leading to get things done, to get opening positions. Now, sure, the wall of smokes isn't going to be too difficult to do, but it's from there the rotations. This map is all about communication, right? And making sure you're rotating efficiently. So that's a punish pick, I think, by Fragsters, and I respect it.
What doesn't make sense to me, so yeah, that completely makes sense. I'm talking about Train being picked by North. Here's the thing. Everyone picks Train against Fragsters.
NIP got owned.
And they always get owned. Now, I don't know why VP did this. We saw it, and it wasn't like, and they just got dismantled completely. It is VP, true, but North picking Train here could come and bite them in the ass.
It could, but only time will tell. And we actually had just a few moments yesterday to catch up with both of these teams and hear what they had to say coming into this semifinal today.
We actually had quite a rough month. Like I think we won 1 out of 13 games, so we were in a bit of a slump, you can say. And I also had a festival the whole last week, so we couldn't really practice. We knew we can play good, and we like to play on LAN. So yeah, I think the preparation wasn't really that good, but I guess we should just do it always like this because it's working at least. So.
And once again, he proves that this A bomb site belongs to him. This is where Refresh currently sits. About to be tested, and a quick double from him. The third goes in with Crosshair, and oh my goodness.
It feels good. We had some struggle throughout the months now. We just had a roster change and trying out the English communication for the first time. So everything is a bit new to us, but we get along.
Round up onto him though, it's snatching. Oh, here's Mixwell, Max 7, so much to do. Trying to prevail at range, gonna have to go in with the USP. Mixwell, he's not so good on A, and he's denied the bomb plant.
We have pretty high expectations for ourselves, so even though others might not feel the same way, we always think that we can win, like any event we play.
Of course, it's really limited of how much we can do because we have a stand-in, and so we're just gonna prepare a little bit and then just be there individually. That's the most important thing for us right now. Hopefully we can just win on that, because we lack a little bit of team play now.
It's always nice to come in as sort of an underdog, so you can always just surprise and can't really fail that much. So I guess that gives you like a free feeling also when we play.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the semi-final. I think it's going to be good. We lost the last semi-final that summer versus Optic, so we're definitely going to go for the gold now.
And you can imagine that the Fragsters have put in the time they needed to put in order to get all the way to the semifinal. You're not going to notice many names that really stick out to you here, but they've certainly left a mark here in Valencia.
Yeah, definitely so. I think coming into this, Dragonfly might be a name from a highlight reel that people would recognize, and then Starvin here has been doing a lot of work, but they haven't had to play a lot of games up to this point. I think after that veto scenario, though, them in the interview saying, hey, we're coming into this as underdogs. That's true, they're not really a family name, but if you look at the fact that North has the stand-in Fragsters here with having Nuke and Train as the first two maps, must be feeling pretty damn confident.
They should be. And here's the thing, if they want to take the series, they need to close it out in these two maps, because Dust 2 is wide open, and I don't think Fragsters really have what it takes to take down North on Dust 2, even with the stand-in, because Mixel's really been showing up as well.
Yeah, that's where the individuals of North would really come alive, and potential gassing issues coming out for these Fragsters guys, right? This is not the normal place for them to be playing. Now, sure, it's not a huge stage. Sure, they're in booths and they have, the feeling of being a little bit more isolated than if it was an open air environment. But the problem is, they're just not used to playing on LAN against a team like North, and that's where the problems could start to arise.
The last time these two guys faced off was 3 months back at Betsnet in Kiev, where they got completely dismantled by North, and I think they gave them too much respect. And I think here's the thing, here's the X factor for Fragsters, right? If they want to take this win, they need to approach this with the fudge you mentality. They got to just go for it.
Fudge you mentality.
I'd like some fudge right about now. I like fudge.
I'm sure we can work something out, Chad, but it's funny you say something about being gassed, and this was actually why I didn't give them the edge coming into their semifinal qualifying match. Like
it's luminosity, yeah.
I just said, hey, these guys, their adrenaline probably wore off in the morning. They 16-1 VP. They probably at an all-time high, but that also has to dip down. Now, I'm going to have to say, out of the players on this team, the two players with the coolest handles, Refresh, Dragonfly. Boom.
We did the opposite of... Oh, God. Oh, wait, we did Firefly, didn't we? Not Dragonfly. Yeah. I think out of all the teams left in this tournament, these guys would have to be the hungriest for the win, right? This would mean the most to them out of all the squads left in this. And that could be a factor here, driving them up against this North unit.
Speaking of that North unit, why don't we take a look at these guys? More so household names, AZ, KRB, MSL, Mixwell, and Voldemort.
Here's the thing, right? One thing I noticed yesterday when they were playing against Ago, even though they were losing, they looked happy.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Yeah. They were giggling, they were having a good time. Mixwell and Volda down there were smirking at each other from time to time, really enjoying the plays that they were making, and that's a really positive sign. If North can come into this and maybe treat the event, water off a duck's back kind of thing, if they're not going to get down about maybe rounds going against them, losing to Force Spies, it's a really good sign, because this is where the core trio of AZ, Volda, and Kyobi can come alive, and I think that's something that's been a little bit dormant in this roster.
And also, here's the thing, right? Like, everyone's been talking about, okay, Mixwell standing in, they don't have a full roster. How about it actually working in their favor, where they don't have the pressure anymore?
Yeah.
And they're more like, hey, no one's really expecting us to do anything. We have Mixwell just being picked up a couple of days prior to the event. So that could also be working out. And I don't know, things at the moment look pretty good for them.
As an opper, and what Mixwell told us yesterday, how he's been given this freedom to kind of roam around the map and do basically as he pleases, that's the opper's dream right there. And I feel like not a lot of oppers utilize that mentality.
Yeah, let me give you a kind of perspective from an in-game leadership dealing with Orpers, right? If your Orper's on and he's feeling like he wants to go for a lot of kills and he's dictating the pace of the game, I want to go for a B pick, or I have a good spawn, I want to push Palace. All those little bits and pieces really help you as an in-game leader, because you can just build the rest of your round deciding what he's going to do. And when they're confident like that, they're likely going to find an opening kill. And if they don't, it gives you an idea to roll with. So that is a positive sign. But you did see a tweet come out from MSO yesterday say, hey, I'm really struggling with this English communication. It's really hampering my game plan. Now, that's not verbatim by any means. This is me.
That was your translation of what he said.
This is me elaborating a little more. But look, in terms of the team, everybody else has been firing on all cylinders, and two boys who have definitely been firing, we've decided to highlight as the head-to-head here is Kyobi and Starvin. Now, Starvin more so because of that Inferno game yesterday.
Well, if we do look at the head-to-head, you might say, wow, 95 frags versus 43. That's because North did, in fact, play more games.
A lot more games.
Yeah, but Kirby really has impressed me this event, right? And not just Kirby, like even we have AZ, everyone's really stepping up. Mixwell had a great time as well. So here's the thing with North. Right now, they found Valde as kind of the best friend for Mixwell. And that's the difference we saw from Mixwell on day 1 and day 2. Was in day 1 is kind of going for individual plays altogether. And this time around yesterday, it was him and Valde teaming up, working off in pairs, right? Really clicking. But Kirby, he was just a solid rock throughout.
Yeah, lots of clutch moments, lots of impact frags.
Lots of impact frags, and that's what it's all about. You can impact the vote by using !frag in chat or !NOR for North, depending on who you think is going to win this first semifinal here in DreamHack Valencia, the final day. And I'm going to encourage Twitch chat to be extra rowdy today and perhaps bring out all the copy posse.
Well, it is a Saturday. It is a Saturday, so people should start now, get ready for the evening, really start your coffees.
Get your cereal.
Yeah, get the juice.
Get in the zone, get ready, maybe
all the Kappa Prides, all the XDs.
Yeah, all the Herald in one monitor, and then, you know, you've got Counter-Strike on the main.
Yeah, and then you should have a third that's just a picture of my face.
That wasn't really in the script. I'm looking right now. It's not
but
really
it makes
in the script,
sense.
Chad.
You know what doesn't make sense? The fact that if the players from North start slow, they have no one getting impact frags, no one getting opening kills, and that could actually be an issue because they are going to be more dependent on individual plays as opposed to the team-based Counter-Strike that we know from them historically because of the stand-in factor.
Absolutely. Like if you look at, just going back to the map veto, right? I think Nuka has been just a genius pick, like you mentioned.
It's to punish. Yeah,
yeah, and this could really punish them. But this pick by Train, man, like if they drop the ball there, it's going to be over. Fragsters can actually take this. This map veto actually might make me reconsider my my prediction, so to speak.
Speaking of dropping the ball, I'm going to go ahead and, you know, dribble right here.
Throw one at me?
Perhaps pass it over to Chad for Hacks GG's 3 reasons why. Give it to us, Chad.
Well, my three reasons why this is going to be more of a mental game is because, look, Fragsters are the younger brothers to North in a lot of ways, right? We've got the big brother syndrome coming out here where they look up to these guys. They look at these guys as the upper echelons of Danish Counter-Strike, and that could be a mental factor coming into this. North are going to play a disrespectful style of CS, and if you give them too much respect as Fragsters, they're going to run all over you because the likes of AZ, Kirby, and Valde, they don't care. They know that you're the new age of CS, and they're going to treat you in that way. You got to build that respect. You got to earn that respect. Point number 2 is the fact that overthinking the stand-in factor is an issue. If you think, oh, they're going to play too loose, they're going to play outside of their style, or you start to think, how are we going to counter Mixwell, how are we going to deal with this unbridled aggression and move too far away from your game plan, you're going to find yourself flailing and treading water. And that's another factor as to Fragsters need to keep that out of their mind and they just need to be stuck into their own game plan. We move on to number 3. Number 3 is all about, this is their Super Bowl. Once more, this is a huge event for them. Maybe the pressure is going to get too much because as I mentioned at the start of the piece, this is still a big stage for the team like Fragsters who are new to playing at this level of Counter-Strike. They can't let that pressure build in that regard, and if they do, they're going to get beaten by their own minds, Chase, and nobody wants to lose the mental game.
Especially not to yourself.
No.
Like, there's one thing to lose a mental game to some other people, psychological warfare, psyops, but to lose the mental game to yourself.
Waterboard them, maybe.
What?
Waterboarding?
I don't think that's psychological.
Well, there's a little bit. I don't, because you're not actually going to drown.
Now imagine,
yeah, but your body reacts that way. I don't know why you're talking about this.
Imagine, first off, we're going to get into predictions, and then I'm going to revisit that one.
Waterboarding.
You know, I really, truly think that if you didn't know what waterboarding was, let's just say, like, if I said, hey, me and the boys are going to go waterboarding in Guantanamo Bay, kind of sounds like a
holiday.
Like a fun
good
thing.
time. Like, it might sound like something we might all get into.
Book it in.
But it's not exactly the case. Almost as these predictions fly in, we're going to start with you, Chad, and we're going to see where you fall on this one exactly. I know we had your 3 reasons, but let's see what you got.
I thought that based on, before I saw the veto, that they would come in and North would just play disrespectful Counter-Strike and Fragsters would crumble and they wouldn't be able to stand up to that. But I think with the veto in play, if the individuals of North can't get going, then they don't have any answers on 2 very heavily strategical T-sided maps like Light Nuke and Train, right? You need a lot of strategy there. So I'm actually going to change my mind, which is something I don't do often, and I'm going to go with Fragsters.
Okay, reasonable.
I'm going to go with North with this. I really do want to go with Fragsters, but here's the thing with North, right? They can be a little unpredictable right now. You know, you don't really know how they're going to be playing this. And knowing MSL, it's not just about playing just purely tactical Counter-Strike or having a strat books. It's also trying to, you know, make things work like the way he played yesterday against Ego. So I think the experience is going to really work in their favor. And if it goes a distance, I think they have the experience and the mentality, the mental fortitude to take it over Fragsters. So a split desk, Stunner.
Is it a split desk? Because I'm going to have to side with the Fragsters. I'm going with the underdog, the undercard here, mainly because these guys are super hungry, and we know North from time to time to have some glaring flaws. But if you know anything about day one of this tournament, my predictions are generally right. So just maybe keep that in mind for whatever you're doing. Perhaps your predictions were right too. Let's take a look at the Twitch chat, see where you all fell at home when it came to voting for these teams. And it does look like North is just a little bit ahead.
Do you think this game would be as good as our stake last night?
That was insanity. In fact, if you don't know about this stake, maybe head over to my Instagram and then maybe check that out if you want.
And follow him while you're at it.
While you're on that Instagram page, after you load that up and take a look at just what we've got going on, perhaps you head over to the Google Play or the App Store and pick up the Strafe Esports app where you can follow along in all the action while you're sitting at home, sitting wherever you're sitting, in the park, maybe around the house, in the yard, laying out on the beach, who knows? You can be there too, keeping up with all your favorite teams and games using the Strafe Esports app. So make sure you grab that. Now, with that being said, it's enough talking from us. Let's go ahead and transfer this over to the guys that just really use all the oxygen in the building. It's going to be Scrondog and Hugo OOTV.
How's your leg doing?
My leg's fantastic. Thanks for asking.
I'm glad they got brought straight up as we go into the semis.
What a guy.
Boys, let's jump right in the game and just have fun with it, huh?
Will do. Yeah, I fell through a porch yesterday. Wasn't that unfortunate?
Yeah, a pooled board we'll go with.
Yeah.
Not really sure what happened there.
Talk about waterboarding.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, guys, welcome back again to day 3 here at DreamHack Open. I'm excited for this one. I mean, 3 Danish teams in our semifinals. That's huge, but this map pool, Hugo, this map pool, I think, makes this series that much more exciting because obviously Train is the map we saw Fragsters completely demolish Virtus.pro 16-1. We get 2 Danish majority lineups on Nuke. It's in their blood. And then if we have to go to a third map, we're going to be duking it out on Dust 2. This is going to be, I think, the series of the tournament so far.
Yeah, I could totally agree. Fragsters are no strangers to finding upset victories before. We've seen them, have some pretty good runs at tournaments in the past. We saw them Austin in the top 4. We saw them top 4 at Betsnet as well. Another event where they managed to take down VP not once, but twice, and they've done it again here in a very dominant fashion. So, yeah, I'm excited to see this Fragsters team. I'm actually going to mirror the predictions on the desk. I think these Fragsters guys can upset. I think they have underdog potential. That being said, we've already seen Mixwell go absolutely ham here in Valencia. Yes. And if he can keep that up coming into this game, it's not going to be an easy victory by any means.
No, most certainly not. And I do think that while I agree with you here, and I'm going to have to put my bet on Fragsters, I do still agree with what our Twitch chat predictions were because you have to give that 5% edge over to a team like North, seeing as they have the experience.
There's no one here saying that North are not the better team and have the higher skill ceiling. We've already seen that. It's been proven. We know that the caliber of players is far better, but it's that upset potential. It's that underdog story, and sometimes you just got to believe.
I mean, listen, we've lost Virtus.pro.
Yeah.
We've lost G2.
Yeah.
We've lost AGO. And I think that you could have argued that 2 of those teams could have been in the top 4 at this event. And yet those giants have fallen, as has Giants, and now we might see another team, I think, toppled here because you know that Fragsters are hungry, and they've already been, on stages similar to this. We go back to Betsnet, where they were toppling teams left and right.
Yeah.
We go back to DreamHack Austin, where they got their taste here in the DreamHack Open circuit, and now here they are back on the European side of things, ready to rock and roll. And they've looked fantastic, 2-0 in the groups, just demolishing Luminosity, who have now been able to topple other opponents as well. So these guys are on the upswing, and I think that they can use that momentum for the groups to move forward. But it is their first best of 3. That's the question. Because North, they've already shown us resilience at least.
Let's find out. We're heading straight into this one. Map number 1 of the series. It's Train, Nuke, then Dust 2. This is North's pick, and we're right into the pistol round. The T side taken by the Great Danes, and a bit of utility as well coming through. So interested to see where this goes. It's a lot out towards that B site early on. Molotov held later, potentially for that post plant, but it is all just a ruse.
Bomb's just here behind Mixwell. He's going to get himself up close to the Z connector, and you can see these 2 CTs thinking about going for a boost inside of that as the distance contact is made with another 2 players. It seems as though Fragsters are going to take that first casualty. Mixwell's just trying to put those 9 mils down range. And he's doing so much damage here. Finally going to kill Refresh, but he himself is beneath 10 health. And at this point, the CTs are getting that a little bit closer, although the kills only now come in. Bubsky's got a lot on him, Hugo, because he's the fully health, but he's already surrounded, and he's 1v3.
Mixwell's done so much damage here, and it might just be enough to drag North through in this round. Surely no time left for the full stick, and MSL cleans it up. Mixwell just dinking everyone on that A bomb site. Nice quick fake down towards B, and it's going to cause rotations to allow this T side to get straight into that pistol round and find their first. North on the board.
I mean, we talked about how North, coming into this event, had told Mixwell, go freely as you please. Do what you want. Well, I feel like that's a pistol round where he's kind of been given the same strategy. Just move forward, create the space for that core lineup of North to try and do their job, and do their job they did.
Well, second round, we have Fragsters forcing things up. Dragonfly saving for the AWP while the scout is up on Stown, and it's doing some work already. Bomb drop, that's the first man out. Big mistake there as Mixwell's going to be finished off, but North gains so much control in the meantime. They have deep smokes, they force Fragsters out, and AZ's even drops Stown off the top of the boost. They even know another player's there as a result, and this should be a round that North cannot concede, especially with the rifles in play. Kierby dropping another man, the flank held by AZ, and it's a nice clean start to this second round so far.
Easy is just a turret right now. Refresh doesn't realize there's already a man behind him, but now he will be flanked, unfortunately for him. And the back 10 gets the job done. A little bit of cash in the pockets of Valda. 4 Ts up at the end of it. North just making quick work of this A bomb site.
And nice start into this. Again, we've seen Fragsters already play train this event. They did take a 16-1 win versus VP earlier on, so I'm kind of excited to see if they can you know, well, I wouldn't even call that a test, but use that experience to drag themselves forward in this game. Not necessarily a map that they always frequent, but for now, Connor, it is just default pistols. USPs, P2K, and North still with the SMGs. It's time to really make some fat stacks of cash, and they're just going to be going speedy out this site once again. Mixwell lining up a lot of players, lots of damage, but the rifles will be the ones winning the fights, and absolutely nothing from Fragsters. They find so much damage, but only 1 kill.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, obviously North, they're assuming we can just go for damage here, and sometimes you tend to see that kind of USP stack over here towards Old Bomb. I've never seen them try to take it over on Ivy, but it does make sense, right? USPs are very powerful at a distance. If you can nail headshots, then that's when you're good to go. And that's the problem with Old Bomb, is that by the time the Old Bomb contact is made, those players are on the bomb site, and sure, your pistols are closer, so they're dealing more damage, but you're also just going to fall prey to the automatic gunfire, no doubt. So we'll see if Stown can get himself anything else. A little parting gift, so to say. More damage. Look at the HP in these 4 remaining Ts.
That's so unlucky as well, only converting a single kill. But again, it is the buy coming through here for Fragsters in the 4th round. The first time we've seen them with rifles. And they should have that AWP as well. I wonder what North are going to do, because of course, keeping all these SMGs means they now have the option for a bonus round, a fast B play potentially. But not only do they keep the SMGs, they also buy up an AWP. This is interesting. If North win this round, it's going to be extremely profitable, but if they lose it, it gives Fragsters the option for a double AWP on this CT side, which, as we know on Train, can be so difficult to get round. Mixwell posted up towards B to kick things off. Only a solo player here for Fragsters, and that's Torben, but no real utility here for Fragsters. That's the problem. Dragonfly has rotated to join him in the side of the connector, but North is just holding on to the B halls early on. And now sending players back towards main. So presence up towards B, keeping Fragsters honest, not letting them aggress on that CT side to try and find something proactively in their first rifle round.
First round, we see Fragsters with gun, and the first round that North at least feel out the B bomb site. Remember, bomb is still lingering above the ladder room there, right? So a little ambiguity coming in from North as they head back towards the T-Con. But I do feel like that headshot versus Mixwell is going to convince them to double back into what was initially set. Refresh, still waiting to hear or see something. Eats some fragmentation first. Flashbangs to follow suit? No. They're just going to creep and crawl closer towards B. And now you see Fragsters actually closing that gap. They had 2 players positioned into the back of the B bomb site, but now they're sitting in that mid-range area, which is good at keeping Ts back. But you need to make sure you get a couple of kills, because if all of a sudden these AKs flood forward, then you are in trouble. And right now Dragonfly is, because he missed his opening shot, and Kierby's going to punish him for doing exactly that. Torben hears the feet above, and AZ hasn't seeped beneath. So suddenly Torben can come into play, but only 1 kill for him leaves this at a man advantage in the hands of North with a bomb point on top.
Yeah, these SMGs are so good for getting aggressive in the post plant as well, but Valdi's going to upgrade his Mac 10 after that frag, and now the chasing comes out from Kierby, catching out Bubsky, not watching the right way, and Fragsters, they're going to turn the other way. Get out of this bomb site, give North that 4th round, and try and hold on to a couple of guns, but it's not going to be the buy up in the following round. It will still be pistols. This is a very good start here for North on their map pick. Already on the harder side of 2, taking a 4-0 lead. Likely going to be a 5th here with such limitations for Fragsters. Not a bad start by any means.
No, most certainly not. And it's nice to see, obviously, AZ and Kierby, I think, doing well so far. We've seen them come in with these rifle headshots pretty quickly. Kierby this round, and then AZ in the previous, because if those right there are your two riflers that are going to kick off this game, then it's only a matter of time before Valda starts chiming in. He's a beast in and of himself. Mixwell obviously hard carrying yesterday with that op. And then MSL, if all his pieces are doing the job, it's because he's doing his too. So right now, North are looking great. There was a chance, though. Dragonfly missed his op shot, and that would have been a crucial moment where they could have at least kept things even keel on the comeback.
The worst part about that as well is it was so clear that Fragsters knew it was a B play. So I think it was Dragonfly spotted the leg of a player before they pushed down ramp. Obviously, we saw that double rotate deeper into the site from Torben and Dragonfly, but they had no smokes, no incendiaries at all, just flashbangs and HEs, and that's not enough to hold against a B rush on this map. Again, it's a first rifle round, so you can assume that they're not going to have everything in their pocket, but that was certainly a limiting factor for Fragsters. It kind of meant they just had to hit their shots, and upon missing them, they lose the round. So, looking forward to that next rifle round in the 6th. It means they're going to have everything to play with because we've got a fairly hard eco here. It's going to be down to these two rifles to try and force fights, but maybe North will speed up the pace here. Good utility over the top. Going to take down Torben early on, and that's one of the pistols removed.
I mean, how often do you see grenades go back the other way?
Yeah.
Tends to be that T-Con potential stack, but the artillery barrage sent forward. And now Mixwell's just spotting bodies. He sees these players and then will scope in to try and pluck them off the A bomb site. Because right now it's 3 CTs standing on A, and then this deep commitment in the corner from Stown. But oh no, Molotov at the feet may spread. For the time being, he's all right. Now they could very well assume that this is clear, although it seems like AZ's, yes, still gonna keep his eyes upon it. So good call on his behalf. Bubsky looking to close the gap. He's just going to rip MSL's head off. He's the bomb carrier, so you don't really want to see MSL try and peek and pry down here.
Especially not alone. As a result, North, instead of rotating MSL, they're going to rotate the rest of the team. Try and group up with him and take control. Instead, one player gets aggressive. AZ, again, he's just catching the timing. Fantastic work, leaving just Refresh alone on this site. But it's a 1v5 and it's too much. North take it flawlessly. Very, very strong start into this map. They are looking warmed up and ready to go. And again, AZ, just fantastic performance from him. He's been one of the standout players for North in all of this, madness and roster changes. He has just been playing so damn well. So good to see him kicking off the day with a very strong start.
Yeah, when we first saw the introduction of Merch to this lineup, right, it was only Valda who kind of kept that consistency. Like when we saw them get upset at, say, Copenhagen Games, these LAN events that they should have been doing well at, it was always Valda who was still able to perform. We had the question mark above AZ and Kierby, and for them to come into this game already hitting hard is fantastic. We're going to see if Fragsters can bounce back now. We talked about that double op setup when we saw their first one. Well, now it's emerged. And it comes at a lack of utility, which was a problem when, of course, we saw North hit that B site just 2 rounds previous.
The question is, at what point do Fragsters start getting aggressive on the CT side and taking map control? It's quite difficult to do so on this map. You mainly want to stick towards maybe taking T-Con, some B-Halls control with a couple of rifles, but this time they're just settling back again. Another rifle round where they let North play their own game, and that's not always a good thing. North are going to be very comfortable on the T side here, so Fragsters, the more room they give them, the more chances North have.
Yep.
Now setting up outside of this A bomb site, we may see the smoke take and Refresh going to be pressure from the pop. 2 positions to watch out for. The AWP coming back into lane as well. Mixwell, and there we go. Refresh caught out in the open. A pick for North.
Dragonfly, well, he can't get the man on the retreat, and then just unscopes at what was the worst moment. But he's got to move, and there's another player there. They've gotten Mixwell out as well. AZ this entire time has been primed to hit the B site. There's a player just beneath him in the form of Torben. And he's honed in on above, as he should be. But, AZ gets by without offering up his head. Torben, he's going to get a chance at multiple frags, so he's able to stop the bomb. AZ has yet to double back, but now as he peeks, it's a 3K from Torben. Finally, some kind of individual play. But speaking of individuals, Valda is here with a 3K of his own. It's all on Torben. He started the round, and he's going to have to finish it. He cannot, as Valda gets the 4th. A quad from him as he sneaks through Z and destroys that B-bomb site.
Oh, Fragsters were not ready for that one. Doesn't matter if his entire team goes down and there were only 5 seconds left on the clock. He is just going to push through and completely outflank the entirety of the CT side. A hero play from Valde brings North back and takes them 1 round closer to victory. Again, not only that, but it might even take them 2. Fragsters again on pistols. This is not turning out to be the best of starts for them, and This round should be no different. A couple of bits of armor, some utility that's going to miss, and these pistols. North, a very slow setup, but they do take initial Ivy control where Dragonfly's about to move in. That's the bomb dropped again, going in first place. We know MSL sometimes does like to do that, but the bomb, bit of a problem there. Valde going to smoke it off, try and retrieve the package and pull it back towards T-spawn, but also taking guns with him, so Fragsters can't retrieve them. He's left the bomb. Valde.
Prioritizing guns, but as they do so, they've lost another player. Quite wild. The Fragsters can break through this 6-round spree off of just the pistols, but they have yet to deal with AZ.
Valde's already checked that position before, but Torben moved back in and still isn't able to find a kill. Bubsky getting pressured, and he's no rush for time. Mixwell's going to move in and take down the trade. Now it's just refreshing the connector. Too much to ask for. 3 kills from AZ, completely taking the attention of the players on the site, which allowed Valde to move down and reface that bomb once again. A nice round found for North. 7-0 here on the T side, with no signs of stopping.
No, absolutely not. I mean, good attempt there by Fragsters. It's always nice when you see a couple of kills come off of buys like that, right? Reminds you they've got the aim. And even pistols can be deadly, but Fragsters are just at a loss right now. They are not making waves. They've had moments. They've certainly had moments. Most notably that Torben 3K on the B bomb site. It's the closest of rounds they've had. But they spoke about it on the desk, right? This big brother effect. I think it's kind of coming into play. Getting strong-armed in the face. 7-0 to the T side of the opening map here.
Well, this is great to see for North as well, because we already look back to DreamHack Summer where they fell in the semi-finals to their other Danish counterparts. Again, a team that was fairly unproven to some extent. So for North to actually come back, bounce back, and take an extremely confident lead here, showing they are the better Danish team. They are a tier above. This is exactly kind of what we wanted from North. And Mixwell as well, he's diving into B. He's already found a first pick, and the site is completely empty. Fragsters were not ready for that kind of pace.
No, honestly, I'm not going to be surprised when we see this save call, because you've lost your only point of contact on the B bomb site, and that's what makes things curious. Torben was so alone, and yet he tried to pry up ramp. Cost him. Maybe not expecting the AWP to be in his face. And at the very least, Refresh will clear that A player. So they do have an exit route if need be, but it looks like Fragsters still want to try to play around here. And it's costing them. You can see Stown and Refresh drop to 50 health. Kierby's looking for tools, and he's going to take just one. MSL even trying to give chase, looking to clear the board and sweep Fragsters under the rug. But as of now, he has to run with his knife out, because look at this man go.
Oh my god.
Refresh covering the distance.
Oh no. It. I mean, North have got the money for this. They have been flawless so far. 8-0. I saw players on 16K there before the buy. They are not going to have a problem with continuing to purchase, so chasing makes so much more sense. It keeps Fragsters' economy honest. It forces them back down to pistols, and that's where they've spent half of this entire map. But now they've got guns at least, because one saved weapon will be enough to buy around with the $3,400 loss bonus. However, North still looking unbreakable right now. Stown finally going to bring some aggression. This is what we wanted to see from Fragsters, but will North be ready for it? That's a yes. The flashbang works out, but they move into another position, and Stown's stuck in the corner trying to get out, and desperate he leaves. The nade is perfect on retreat, and for the first time in, it seems like forever, Fragsters have had the man advantage.
They just bailed a man out of what was the stickiest of situations. Yeah. Pinned in behind the dumpsters. Looked like that push was going to turn to trash, but no. The bank nade on the retreat's able to get him out. And that was after the flashbang, so excellent utility usage. They made the most of what they had, but it has left them with so little. A smoke for Bubsky, a flashbang on Stown, nearly lost over there towards Ivy. And still a 4-man core set up on this A site, looking to work the double-man advantage, but oh no. They've allowed AZ space, and if you give him space, then he will be a... Oh, what a flick shot. It is denied by Dragonfly, who's yet to have his wings clipped, although he's pinned into the corner. Valde knows he's there, and so does Mixwell. They're looking to deal with him, but they also know there's a second player back on Ivy. It is a single-man advantage. That is it. And a Molotov will force this into the open. Remember, Valde's still in that back corner, ready for the cross, but no, he's allowed him out.
The problem is time here. There's still 2 players on the site and 1 back towards the old bomb. North need to speed up if they want this plant and any chance of the 3-on-5. It's just Valde left. Quick tech to Torben, but he's got to find 2 more, and he's already being wrapped from the left side. Realizing the B site is open, a desperation play going to be employed, and he just picked up an incendiary from the pop dog. He can throw that towards the connector, but Stown has already rotated into position. He looks away, and Valde gets a kill as a result. Somehow he's made this doable. 3 HP left on the man, and the bomb down on the site. He's got so many options to move to. But Dragonfly, coming in from behind, is looking to strike a bullet in his back.
Seems like Valde's predicting that this will be a CT push, but if he's able to get that space to the forefront of the bomb site, remember, he still has that Molotov. Dragonfly, he may have the kit, but he doesn't have the smoke. Tapping it once will force the hand of Valde. That's at least going to get this grenade out of his hand, you'd think. But Valde waits. Valde's going to wait, and now he needs to throw it. Off of the second tap, he gets it down. And remember, there's no defuse coming in from Dragonfly just yet. I think Valde's done this. It's 39 HP versus 3. Valde's going to close the gap, and even though he dies, there's just no time. What a clutch from Valde!
A 3-on-5 turned to a 1-on-3 thanks to AZ, and still Valde finds the round. It seemed like surely Fragsters were going to find their first CT side on the board, but no, North are not giving them an inch. 9-0. Complete domination here in the first map of the semifinals.
This kill, that kill right there. I mean, Stown, he was honed in on that ramp. He had his crosshair set, and it was the moment Valde comes around that corner that he had looked away. And if you give this man an inch, well, he's definitely going to take a mile and a 9th round on top of it. This is leaving Fragsters at such a loss. You can literally smell the desperation here.
Yeah, look how close they are right now. They're getting aggressive. There's going to be a flank in the pop dog surely coming through, but it amounts to nothing. A complete mowdown, a slaughter here in the hallways, leaves just Dragonfly, and once again, it's another round for North. Need I say more? 10-0. Double digits has been found, and not even 1 taken for Fragsters.
I mean, listen, you 16-1 VP, but what if you get 16-0 by North?
That would not be fun.
It's on the table. Still got 5 rounds in this first half, and the double op setup's going to re-emerge. 2 kits, good set of utility, and the lack of helmets won't make a difference here with the AKs and AWP of North. Oh, MSL.
Oh, the nade hit him just as he moved into the Molotov, so it slowed him down, meaning he burst even more. We see a wrap coming through. There's a player close to the E-box, but MSL is still snuck behind enemy lines. 5-on-3, and Refresh finally shows his hand, but he's going to get completely aced. North still over the bomb site, and only Torben left up, too far away from the party.
Wow. Just done. I mean, we're starting to see all of the stars shine here for North, and that's the stand-in included, right? I feel like so many times we've seen a player on top of that first train on the A bomb site just peppering back any kind of a defense. That was through smoke. Sick angle. See, now he goes up the ladder, and this is the position that's definitely just torn the setup to pieces.
What setup?
Exactly. It's gone. It's by the time the T's hit the bomb site, there's not much structure left of Fragsters. Their perimeter's been broke, they're scrambling, they're desperate, and now they're going to go for the push. Single-handedly, Dragonfly tries to get up here, but he's not even looking the right direction. Trying to dodge flashbangs, perhaps. Torben going to be left as an anchor on this B site as the rest of his team still sits on A. Despite having taken pauses and tried to change setups in both double ops, single ops, and just straight rifles, they have yet to find an answer.
Look at this rotate, though. We have 2 more players moving into this B bomb site. Might be the right call, but again, it's always that question mark. Mixwell and Kiebi, they're just messing around down in T-Con, so they can easily cause an A-split and the bomb to fall back down Pop Dog, and I think that might be the exact case. We've seen 2 players go into B, AZ find a pick that will fake rotations, and now there's only Bubsky left up to defend. Oh wait, there's none. He's gone, and so is the A site. Fragsters completely bamboozled.
Yep. Drawn in, and then wrapped back because they still have a man on ramp in Valde. He hears the ladder. That's an easy kill, and Kierby's so deep in the hallways that he again clears the board. 12-0. This is a train that's just not stopping.
Mixwell tweeted yesterday towards a player of North, I can't remember who it was, saying, oh, it's just so easy to play with guys like you. Well, yeah, when you're 12-0 up in the semifinals, I can definitely agree with that.
This is insane stuff. AZ, 3 deaths. Valde, 3 deaths. Both players in the high teens in terms of frags. I mean, listen, we praise Fragsters for being one of these up-and-coming teams that still have the structure, right? They are very clearly Danish in the way they play Counter-Strike. And yet, at the end of the day, this is a game about killing people. And that is something that they have been unable to do in the opening map. It is still early.
It's not like we've seen Fragsters in positions that they can't win. We've seen 5v3s, we've seen 4-on-2s.
Most certainly.
North have pulled it back every single time. It's been hero plays. AZ's on 20-4, Valde's 16-3. I mean, kills don't even matter at this point, but North want more of them. A dive towards the A site. Stam kicks things off. Maybe it's an opportunity here with players climbing up the ladder. Finally, Fragsters in a man advantage, and things have turned around. North's fast pace has been caught out, but we've seen them win these rounds before.
Well, let's see what KRB can do. We've seen the big plays from Valda and AZ and Mixwell too. 1 versus 4. He's definitely got health advantage over 3 of these players, but remember, double op still in play. Ooh, man. He just snuck by for a moment. Dragonfly gets him, and the first round for Fragsters is now on the board. It has been a while, but it is at least something. They'll have a best case scenario of 3-12 on the CT side of Train. I mean, North have done their job and then done it again.
I mean, it's hard to say it will matter too much at this kind of scoreline, but if North win this round, Fragsters get reset. Yes, they kept 4 players alive. That's probably the most important part of winning that round, but it's still a possibility here. There's still time for their money to be broken with 2 rounds left of the half. And that would just ruin Fragsters here. They need to double down. They need every single round, obviously. However, AZ doesn't want to give it to them, sneaking out through B, and he's hiding in the smoke. Maybe with all this ruckus going down on the A site in the meantime, with KRB going down, maybe we see this rotation. And yes, Dragonfly's moved off of B. Now this gives an option for AZ to be a real nuisance, and Valde doing the same. The sneak through from AZ is spotted, and Torben deals with the problem. Now finally Fragsters in a good position, but MSL wants a kill, and he finds it. Already with Valde in the CT spawn, things are looking up for North, despite the man disadvantage.
MSL's given some space to grab bomb, so he thinks, but Bubsky gets him off guard. Valda, you mastermind. You know he's salivating at the jowls because he has himself a 1v3 on his plate.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he sees the barrel. Oh no, and now that's the timing. He's got the kill and he's got the advantage of being above. Still doesn't have the bomb though, Hugo. So that's going to be a part of this puzzle he'll have to figure out. And he's just still looking for duels. These are one of those situations where you know Fragsters are shaking in their little boots. So they're not going to overface, and that gives space for Valda to play. 25 seconds. Now things are going to have to ramp up, and he should suspect that someone could be in these corners. He's spotted from beneath. He's going to get the duel, and he's won it yet again. Can he get himself again a clutch? Because 15 seconds left, and a Molotov down means he can most certainly grab bomb, and that's a plant. That is undoubtedly a plant. And Torben has to wait. He has no other option. He's got the cover of above. Health advantage to the side of Fragsters. A second round potentially for them, or Valda denies. A heartbreaker he is. And he's even been given the space to creep his way up and above. Now he plays patient. Now he waits for Torben to come, which is inevitable. He's got the kit, sure, but no smoke to cover bomb. Torben has to figure out that this player could be up, and Valda's already honed in on exactly this angle, but the timing could work. The bomb tap's there, and the clutch is for Valda once more.
This man is unstoppable, and cool as a cucumber. Not a single smile on his face. It's 13-1, Connor. That is a reset. That is every player of Fragsters dead. All thanks to Valde here. Ridiculous.
Man, he's just clearing corners. All these kills come from that. Just sitting back on 2 of them. Sweeping away another. Beautiful 4K for him. He continues to soar just above everybody else.
And there's the money. Look at it. It's gone. And so's already refreshed. I mean, Fragsters are getting picked apart, you know, financially and literally. Bubsky's going to be the only player to get a kill here on the CT side. North have already traded back effectively, but 3-on-3 and Dragonfly, he doesn't want to give this away without a fight, but the problem is they're chasing him through smokes. North have so much confidence, and at this kind of scoreline, I barely blame them.
What's wild, too, is it's not just the entirety of North that are hammering this home. It is literally Valda and AZ. And we've had certain rounds from players, right? Mixwell 3K, KRB gets a couple kills. It looks like they're going to actually add a 14th to the board because Stown has yet to retrieve a gun. What's wild as well, right, is like we hype this up as the potential Fragsters upset because we know that they have some of the tools and skills necessary to create upsets, and they tend to win versus teams that are better than them, lose versus teams that are worse. But right now, Hugo, we could still see a clutch go back the other way. He's spotted the last man up and above. Stown's got himself the gun as well. He's got the pieces of the puzzle minus the kit.
Surely no way he can stick it. Oh, he does hear the rap. But I'll take that. Stown's going to win the round. That's Fragsters with the second round and a half. And he even seemed like he was watching the wrong angle, but apparently not. I think there's just enough time for the defuse there, even with no kit. And that will be 2 for Fragsters on the half, but we can't hide from it, Connor. That is a ridiculously dominant half. The T side of Train, for those unaware, it is not the easiest to play. You know, 5, 6 rounds, yeah, that's fine. North, 13.
Again, right, we hyped the potential of this upset, but we also did recognize and try to legitimize the skill ceiling of North being so much higher. And this is going to be one of those examples of it, right? If North come in on form, if certain players are just hitting shots, then this is what they're capable of. They're just going to demolish a team like Fragsters, because remember, North is currently the highest rated team on HLTV attending this event. They're in the top 10. And they've been trying to float around that consistent top 10 position. They've had it at months, they've lost it at months. There's been highs and lows, and I mean, this weekend has been one. Sure, they needed Mixwell to get through yesterday, but thanks to that performance, I feel like North are now paying him back, because this is just a clinical showing.
Yeah, it's such a hard carry from these two players that you mentioned. Valdi and AZ at the half, sitting on 22 and 5 for Valdi, 20 and 7 for AZ. It's not like the other players are underperforming. There are not enough kills for the rest of the guys to get. Everyone else is positive. MSL just dropping behind. But again, as you said earlier, Connor, if the stars are hitting their shots and North are winning their rounds, MSL's doing his job. So 13-2. Frags' last chance at winning this game, or pulling this back at the very least, because they've got to win this pistol round. There's no question about it. And Valdi does not want to give it to them. The first man to make contact already falls back and calls for reinforcements.
Yeah, and you can see them coming through the Z connector. Valda not even sitting down by spindles, instead falling as far back as possible. If he plays on top of the spool, then he's still going to have that line of sight into the upper halls, and if he sees no presence there, then they are smart enough to re-rotate the man back onto A. Mixwell gives up on B. They realize it was Fragsters just showing their teeth and not trying to bite down into the B-bomb site.
They've been holding on to this utility the whole round, similarly to how North ran their T-side pistol. Showing early box hauls and ending up with an A execute. The thing is, this is fairly predictable, and Kiebi's already above and beyond, looking to send Fragsters home, send them packing. And now with the flashbangs coming through, the pop dog, the push going to be employed. But Kiebi, he's got an angle. He can't hit the shots off as a result. It's found through the smoke here from Mixwell, but he's so blind, doesn't seem to matter. Damage is found, and AZ gets the kill. Kiebi on the wrap, but he's going to run out of ammo, and he will fall as a result, but still North in a man advantage.
Yeah, and AZ is just going to sit back, relax, and wait for the T's to cross. They've all been pinned in for the most part. But suddenly we do get this kill from Stown, which was on MSL, trying to wrap back from B. If they hadn't lost the bomb on the A bomb site, you'd assume they could try and re-rotate over, but they have to move forward, and they've got to do it quick. 20 seconds to the clock, and still everybody's pinned in. AZ just trying to hone in on angles, and he will catch Dragonfly, but Bubsky returns the favor with a kill of his own. And check the HP. Both Bubsky and Valda incredibly low, but no one can stop this plant, because Stown has cover now. And the retake is on. North have to get this one moving forward, and it will fall to Valda. How many times have we seen him clutch? Twice already.
And this long wrap, there's no way they're going to expect this. The problem is, he's taking so much time that now they're starting to realize that other parts of the map are susceptible to being flanked. And he doesn't even have a kit. Playing the timing, does catch Bubsky, and Stown going to find the clutch again, as he did in the previous round. He finishes off the pistol with 3. And Fragsters, they're back in this one, Connor. They've got an opportunity. They've just got to grasp it with both hands. North give them the pistol round, but only by the skin of their teeth.
Stown now has won 2 1v1 clutches, and both of which have netted them the win. So that's 2 of 3 rounds coming off the back of him, and he leads the kill count at 12 there for Fragsters. Still a very lopsided affair from North, but I remember QB Fire versus Mouse Sports very vividly, right? Crazier things have happened. We are a long, long way from even giving this second thought. Right now, it is a matter of time. North just gonna have to get through with Deagles. Bubsky blasts back 2 as he entries through Ivy. And the next point of contact will be inside of Z. No. Pistols bouncing back into this round. They didn't even buy armor. If they've managed to find this 2 versus 3 situation, still more damage being dished out, but Dragonfly, he's the saving grace.
And with that, again, Valdi attempting the long flank, but it should all be for nothing. They've already got a man in the connector, and Dragonfly with an SMG, not going to find success. Valdi is at least making this one interesting. With no rifle picked up, he's going to give it a go for the sake of it. As you said, no real investment here from North on this round, so he goes down, but it's not really a problem. 4-13, that's a round that Fragsters can start to build up some confidence, hit that DM. But still, we've got North on a bye in just a couple of rounds, and they're going to have everything to play with thanks to that hard eco in the second. With only Deagles and USPs, no armor, no utility, they're saving their money for a rainy day.
Fire grenades are good enough to deal damage onto Stown. I like the pace here from Fragsters. Just throwing Torben to what could have been the Wolves. But the Pack's still further back. Nice grenade as well. That's going to do damage. Whoa, Dragonfly's got to chuck out the molly. 2 players being caught out with grenades, and suddenly that's so much damage in for the CT side.
Oh, no.
They themselves were tagged up, and remember, so unequipped. So Refresh, he's just going to try and gun down the anti-eco ace, but a 4K is all he'll find. Still, great stuff from Fragsters. There was a moment where they could have sustained losses, but they get out near unscathed.
Yeah, that was similar to the round where North have all these low players, but still just pick it up on the first half. Very similar situation on one of those anti-ecos. Nice work from Refresh there. And now we have what we've been waiting for, Connor. The buy-up for North. Still a Mach 10 employed, but full head armor here for the T's, so gotta watch out for that one. Fragsters. Again, early presence down towards this B site. In fact, with all 5 players employed, and Valdi's playing on the edge of the smoke. There's already the difference, right? The one time we saw Fragsters actually play that ramp, they had Torben just sitting in the open. This time, at least Valdi's playing with the utility. And he might be able to catch something for it, but falls back early, and Fragsters run in early. Valdi's going to be pressured. He's got to hit some shots. He's got to get a kill, and he does drop 1, but the rotation from MSL is fantastic. 2 kills from the connector before the AWP finally fires back, and with a man advantage, North in for a potential retake.
Good Molotov from Dragonfly. That's either going to keep players back, or it's going to force them into his crosshair, because the smoke had nullified his first position, but still he's been given nothing. Until finally the chance presents itself, and he misses the opportunity as Torben does the same. Players flying up above. The verticality is going to play into the hands of the CTs, so Dragonfly is going to have to get all 3 of these final frags.
He's got a Molotov.
He does, you're right. And there's no smoke for the CTs, but now Kierby's already on it. Remember, there's no kit currently in play, so this is still going to be enough to deny the defuse. And it's going to be North to just fade back. They're off of this bomb site. They're off of the retake. It is Fragsters with a 6th.
And now out of the round, all down to Dragonfly there. 3 kills and an essential 4 from Kierby. He will save that AWP, but this could be the start of something here, Connor. Flawless in the half so far are the T's. It seems like Train is a bit of a switch up today, apparently. But again, you still got that question mark in the back of your mind. One mistake from Fragsters, one lost round gives North 14, bordering map point.
Yeah, it's one thing to take a T-side versus North on Train. It's another thing to do that with such a minimal margin of error, right? Like you said, a single round, a single mistake. And North is the type of team to punish mistakes.
Orb. Mollied off from Mixwell, so MSL falls back down the ramp. North don't pull in any more aggression. Although Mixwell, he goes back in, and he could be the X factor of this round with pistols and an AWP that could drag North through it. He has dropped Torben early on, so a man advantage taken here from the CT side. Very important they didn't get traded as well, because with these pistols, they're going to have to combine a lot of chip damage to take down these rifled members. Mixwell attempts another optimistic shot, but while Fragsters are all set up outside of the B site, they're yet to commit. And look at this rotate, because Kierby's all the way behind. He's going to be able to find so many players, but he spams to the body and only gets 1. Doesn't matter, there's so many CTs here, and Refresh luckily holding means MSL cannot get aggressive.
It's one of those moments where Fragsters, you've got the time to double back, and because of the flank, you know that North were prepared for the B site hit. But have they already gone back to A? One player has. Stown getting the best of timing as he drops onto Mixwell, but AZ has an element of surprise. And if they don't completely clear corners, then he's going to get a chance. He does stop the bomb at the very least, and this is buying time for the wraparound back again from another flank. Valda grabs a gun. And he's got the armor to play off of it. That's going to be the fake flash. He dodges the first shot, but now he's got to deal with these 2 Ts. He does get the shoulder and a little bit of chip damage, but no kills as of yet. The headshot's connected. Valda has clutched a many round, but not this time. Stown predicts the ladder peak, and Fragsters will continue this comeback.
That's such an awkward round from North there. Kiebi doesn't need to go for that kill. He can just wait for them to flush in and try and kill players on the retreat. With him not being given a clear shot, and with it being obvious that Fragsters were committing to that B site due to them setting up Molotovs and smokes, didn't necessarily have to take that fight. But, you know, hindsight's 2020, and right now we're 20 rounds in. North 13-7. Fragsters starting to pull this one back. Slow but sure. Dragonfly naded down on the Ivy. He's going to post up and he's going to find AZ. Top performer of the other side, alongside Valde. Equal, in fact. And Dragonfly's not happy with one. He's not content. He wants to go in for a little bit more, but the flashbang blinds him and allows Mixwell to cross and set up with the AWP. So once that smoke fades, he can fire back.
They're not going to push the issue. They're just going to reposition. Mixwell even seems to not give it as much presence of mind, but it is MSL to step up, looking to lead by example here as he has created the position that they're now in. The one-man advantage turn 2 because Mixwell has gotten himself another op shot. This is the round North wins. Unless one of these 2 Ts can step up big and refresh. Well, he's going to be given the chance because Mixwell's right here, about to be blindsided, but spotted just a moment too soon.
We've seen Stown find some clutches, Connor, but this one would be ridiculous. 38 seconds, and he's already been spotted. Surely he has. Mixwell's just honed himself in on that position. MSL going to move in at the same time, but Stown does find the first of many that's going to be needed if he wants to keep Fragsters in this round, or he might just opt to go back and save with the time being so low. Smoke's going through, so surely a commitment here for Stown, and they still know he's on the site. Kiebi playing passive up on the Ivy, but it's going to be MSL peeking for his third. 3 HP is not a deterrent to the IGL of North. It's going to drag them forward in such an important round.
Yep.
And now that's 14.
I mean, that's the beauty of it, right? We speak about how everybody else is performing well and MSL doesn't need to, but when he does come in with kills, they are what you could argue some of the most crucial.
Yeah.
Now, as well as that, North have not just won a 1v1 situation, they've managed to keep 3 players alive, so they're going to be healthy for the time being. No surprise they take a pause here, because they should definitely mull over what they're about to do. This is a very important round for Fragsters and North. A reset here could allow for Fragsters to springboard their way up into the double digits. 14-7, still double the rounds of Fragsters, so even despite this CT side falling somewhat flat, it is such early days, and with such a little margin of error, Fragsters know that their backs are against the wall.
The only positive is they do have the money here, right? That 5-round streak is going to mean that they've got some cash in the coffers. Not a ridiculous amount, but enough to at least fight back. A Deagle, a CZ, a UMP. We may just see some fast B play off the back of this. This is what this buy is going to be probably best for. You don't want to take range battles with these limitations.
And towards the end of the first half, off of Fragster's pauses, North did just play these quicker tempoed rounds, right? They try to throw themselves into the A site as fast as could be. Fragsters could have taken a page out of their book, but instead, they're going to do a little bit more of a patient setup. And great grenade. Oh, even better. Valda gets the job done. Stown, nearly the second casualty of the utility usage. And Mixwell's been primed to succeed here in this position. They have punished the push. Curious to me that Valda wants to go in on that, but I understand information, how many players still remained, are they really there? North are still primed in this 4v4 to have a slight advantage versus not just the pistol, but a pistol on 34 HP. Unless Stown just, works the CZ miracle and blasts Mixwell on the drop down. Do it.
He's just trying to bait. He definitely spotted Mixwell there. He's definitely seen those legs, but Mixwell just doesn't need to shoot. Stown is so low that really there's no way he should be winning this fight. And Mixwell's already mollied off main as well. He's just going to move back into the smoke and back into the hands of another frag. North The man advantage once again, and 30 seconds on the clock as the bomb only just makes its way down Ivy. We have to have individual plays here, Connor. All three players from Fragsters are completely split up. Torben trying to fake that B push, but there's no way North are going to be fully convinced with the man advantage now doubled. AZ's still here up on the Ivy, and he's going to have the perfect position to drop the bomb, and with that, the round. 15, surely inevitable here for North. Even with that frag from Refresh, there's no way they should allow him to plant, and Kievi will clean it up with the final round.
Yep, nice patient play by AZ. He had no reason to leave the A-bomb site because that entry attempt at B was flopped. Fragsters about to meet their maker here on the opening map. One hell of an opening first 15 in order to establish such a significant lead. And sure, Fragsters, they make the most of that initial pistol. They get the economy to roll a couple rounds forward. But the depth of North is enough to get them back position of a secured OT. And they take the pause. Why not, right? Mull things over yet once more.
Yeah.
Make sure everybody's on the same page as you're looking to win this first map.
And again, like while we just had that reset in the previous, the put, well not really reset, but put Fragsters down to just a few $1,000s and a couple of AKs. Now they've got even less. No bomb plant, $1,900 on the loss. No saved money because they invested every penny they had to win that previous round. So here's the result of 1,900 plus kill reward. The max is 27 on Torben. He's only got a deagle. He's thrown over a scout. Fragsters have almost nothing here in this round. For them to win it would be ridiculous, but Dragonfly's going to give it a go out through main. Stuck in the Molotov, he's got to move forward, but talking of moving forward, Kiebi's being proactive down Ivy. Nice bit of utility usage so far from North has garnered them quite a lot of damage, but Dragonfly stuck out in the open and Mixwell spotted it.
Yeah, so Kiebi's going to get that first one. Bubsky falls on Ivy as AZ lingers a little longer, and here you go, folks. What looks to be most inevitably the 16th round for North, but Fragsters still have something to say until Falda catches them by surprise. It all falls on Stown. Renowned is one of the heaviest hitters here for Fragsters. Clearing smokes with bullets aplenty.
Oh my god.
It's a matter of time, right? He doesn't even have the bomb, so let's figure this out. What's Stown gonna do? He's got maybe 20, 30 more seconds to kill. I think Kierby just saw a bomb, and here you go, folks. Stown has been found. Flashbang could go over the top to help him out in this duel, but they could just dodge him. Stay away. Just use that clock to seal the deal. This is more so about just feeling good about yourself. And that's the kind of tap that will turn heads. 30 seconds left, 1v2.
They just gave up the bomb as well. North have realized they can't afford to throw away this round. There's no point facing him here. The time is going to be the biggest factor. And with him only just picking it up with 20 seconds back on the clock, North are ready on the site to stop him. The second he attempts it, he's going to need both kills, surely. A fake plant will have to be called here, and they both peek him at the same time. North, 16-7 on the first map. They take away Train. It was a nice, valiant attempt from Fragsters to pull that game back into something close, but North, they didn't really let go of the grasp.
No, not quite, right? When you have players performing like Valda and AZ, then it's just a matter of time. A 13-2 half just re-cements you as such a stronger opponent, and Fragsters had no response. We started to see some individual prowess come out towards the end of things, but it was just too little, way too late.
Yeah, definitely too late. That's always such a shame as well, because now you really question, with Fragsters having a nice 5-round streak on their T side, what would have happened if they started on the T side? Maybe they could have run away with a few more rounds and had a closer game, but no, North just absolutely bullying the Dane.
And remember that what we saw from them versus Virtus Pro, that convincing 16-1 comes off of the back of a 14-1 CT side.
Right.
For that to then just not even be a part of the equation, I think spells disaster. But we are moving on to Nuke.
Yeah.
And Fragsters has more Danes. So I think that's an advantage.
And take into account as well, while we know all Danish teams from Nuke and North are definitely going to be prepared on this map, it's one of their least played. That's always there in the back pocket of Fragsters, but that will be in just a few minutes. So do sit by. We'll be back after this short commercial break. I'm bringing you the second map of the semi-final. Don't go anywhere.